It's not only middle class or poor men who struggle with the dating world. Rich men struggle in dating also. And it's not uncommon for rich men to be single or lonely, especially when they come from privileged families. And the reason is because a lot of times when you're privileged, you don't really work on your social skills maybe as much as a person who comes from the lower middle class or middle class to get along. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's meet John Hinckley Jr. Now, most of you have no idea who he is, and you probably wouldn't know who he is because if you were born before 1981, you will have no idea. But John Hinckley Jr. almost assassinated newly elected at that time U.S. President Ronald Reagan in Washington, D.C., only after 2 months after Reagan's first inauguration. But now, who was John Hinckley Jr.? Well, he was from a wealthy family. He was born in Oklahoma, moved to Dallas. His father was even the chairman and president of the Vanderbilt Energy Corporation. But you see, he was an oddball. He didn't have a lot of friends. He had antidepressants. He was a stalker and ultimately a social misfit. That was John Hinckley Jr. But now let's get into today's episode. Mr. Scott Burkett, also from a rich background. I mean, he's a Beverly Hills resident, right? It costs money to be there. And he met a woman online. Flew her out. But, let's play that clip and kind of understand what happens.
A Beverly Hills man has been arrested in an alleged murder for hire plot to kill a woman he used to date. 24-year-old Scott Burkett was taken into custody after he allegedly sent thousands of dollars in Bitcoin to arrange the murder of a woman he dated briefly. Burkett reportedly met the woman online. Investigators say she flew to LA to meet him last October. She described Burkett's behavior as sexually aggressive. Burkett could face 10 years in federal prison.
So guys, that's a brief thing or a brief synopsis of what happened. You see, Mr. Burkett met a young lady he was really in love with, and she met him. She said he was sexually aggressive. She tried to break off the relationship. And, after that, he wouldn't stop calling. So here's what he did. He paid $13,000 in Bitcoin to an internet group to arrange the hit and an additional $1,000 to the supposed killer. However, this website turned out to be a scam, and they kept his money and then went to the authorities. Actually, the person that he was paying was an undercover agent. And now he even demanded a proof of death photo that will show the corpse. And all this as a sham got him 5 years in prison. So what's the skinny on this, guys? And I know though, being in the Black manosphere community, we typically may not deal with this as much, but we do need to deal with rejection. It's a part of the game, guys. We just got to be real. I know Black men kind of get this a little bit more than others may get this, but hey, listen, there are some women that you deal with in life. They like you at one moment, they don't like you the next moment, right? And a lot of times it's hard to move on. Especially if you have kids, she's a wife, women are, they can play some kind of games with you, whatever. But if they don't want to be with you, life moves on. It hurts. Getting dumped hurts. I know I've been dumped a lot of times. It hurts, especially by a young lady that you like. It sucks. But gentlemen, life moves on. That's the beautiful thing about life. It moves on. It keeps going. Things get better. But now, when you have guys who start doing things like stalking ladies, they're threatening them, they're threatening their new boyfriend, and stuff like that. What are you saying? Ultimately, what you're saying is, I can't get anybody other than you. You're the only thing that I can deal with. There's nobody else that wants me. I have no options. So this is the reason why I'm stalking you. This is the reason why I want to cause some kind of harm, because nobody else wants me. And you'd be surprised at how many times it happens to guys who have money. Do you know how many dudes that have money or come from good families or have a lot of income? They have no idea how to talk to women. They have no idea how to even make friends. They have no idea how not to be weird. They don't know. So once the lady doesn't want to deal with you anymore, you go crazy. And still, while working on yourself as far as financially and skill wise is important, social development is also important. We have a lot of guys who are not socially developed. Some of you may call some of these guys incels, right? Some of you guys may call these guys that. But what I want to say is, as much as you are working on your personal skills, as far as what makes you money, realize, guys, you need to work on your social skill and understand how to accept defeat. Women don't owe you any reason why they don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't care what they say, okay? And guys got to realize that. A woman can tell you something today, really, really mean it. Oh, I love you. Oh, I want to be with you. And she might mean it for that moment. And then the next day, she don't like you no more, okay? She's completely done with you. It's over. And guess what? You need to be okay with that. I know it's not fair. Some guys invested their money. Some guys have been used. I get it, man. It sucks. But guess what? You got to be okay with it, man. Because why? You can technically move on. A woman doesn't owe you anything, but guess what? Neither do you. You don't owe her anything else. Guys, let them see you shining, because here's what I want to tell you. Some of you guys may say, sad music. Oh my God. My life is nothing without you. I really miss you. Look, I want to tell you guys something. Some of your ex-girlfriends, not going to say all, but listen, when I tell you this, and I know most of you guys can confer this, look at your ex-girlfriend's life, okay? 5 years ago, you thought that was the last time you'd ever have a woman that looks like that. Look at her now. She might look good, she might not. But one thing about her is her life didn't develop. It didn't get great at all, did it? Probably not. She's probably doing the same thing that she's been doing, which is, I'm gonna be real, not much, okay? And you look at her now, you might even see her now, you'll be like, oh, okay, especially after COVID, you don't look like you used to. And you're like, man, I thank God I'm not dealing with her. Why? Because a lot of people, sometimes they're just gonna be ruining their lives. So if you're gonna ruin your life for a person who's already gonna ruin their life anyway, that's stupid. Let them go, bro. Like, you have a lot to live for. If she doesn't want to be with you, she might be doing you a favor. Sometimes you guys see these chicks in Walmart that you used to know. And when you see them, what do you say? Thank God for another chance. Because that could have been me. I could have been her baby daddy. I could have been wearing those sandals with her. I could have had kids by her, and I could have been completely ruined. Like, look at how your life is turning out right now. Some of you guys got great situations going. You're on overseas. You got good businesses. You got good friends. You have everything that you need. Would you have that stuff if you was with her still? Possibly not. Possibly not, guys. So listen, it's okay. Rejection occurs, but you got to be able to deal with it. We all get shot down. We all get dumped. And that's the nature. And sometimes might not have been any fault of your own. She just got tired of you, wanted us to do something else. It's okay. Keep getting rich. Well, guys, I'm out of here. And as you know, the buffoonery remains all time high. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.